Good morning, students. This is Professor Kiran Poddar, Department of Mathematics, Angadi Institute of Technology and Management, Belagavi. First, I would like to welcome you all to third semester of engineering. Today, we'll discuss the first module of third semester of engineering, that is Fourier series. First, let us understand what is the meaning of Fourier series and how Fourier series does work in terms of series, and how it will work in transformations. Before understanding Fourier series, first we should know what is the meaning of convergence divergence of an infinite series of positive terms. Let us take this as if un is a function of n defined for all integrals values of n, an expression of the form u1 plus u2 plus u3 plus and so on up to un plus it continues again, which containing infinite number of terms, and this is called as infinite series, and further it is denoted as summation of un, where n is from 1 to infinity, or simply sometimes we take it as summation of un. What it means? If un is a function of n which is defined for all the integral values of n, then expression of this form is kept like this: u1 plus u2 plus u3 and so on up to un. Further also it continues. It contains infinite number of terms in it. Therefore it is called as infinite series. If all the values are positive, then it is called as positive series. If all the values are negative, it is called as negative series. If the value comes like plus minus, then it is called as alternate series, that we have already studied in previous years. Therefore, this is denoted as, because all the time we cannot write this lengthy expression, so then further it will be denoted as summation of un, where n is from 1 to infinity. Then this un is called the nth term of general term, because we may take it as up to first term, second term, third term, up 10th term, 20th term, or even we can take up to nth term. Then it is called the nth term of the general term of the infinite series. Okay. Then the sum of this entire term will be taken as Sn. It will be taken as Sn, which is nothing but u1 plus u2 plus u3 plus and so on up to un. Means the summation from u1 to un will be kept as Sn. Then a series summation of un is said to be convergent. What is the meaning of convergent? If the series summation of un, means if you take this entire series under the summation, it is said to be convergent, then it should satisfy this condition. That is, if limit as n tends to infinity of Sn means this entire series, which is equal to L. Here what is the meaning of L? L is nothing but finite quantity. Finite quantity. Fine. Means we are going to get a fixed value after putting this Sn into a limit as n tends to infinity. Then summation of un is said to be divergent. Divergent when it is possible, if this limit as n tends to infinity of Sn is equal to plus or minus infinity, then we can see the difference here. If we are getting limit of Sn as n tends to infinity is equal to L, this is called as convergent. Convergent because L is a finite quantity, means we are going to get some unique value, fixed value. Okay, but here un is said to be divergent because limit of Sn as n tends to infinity is equal to plus or minus infinity. Means if you put it on a real line, then what happens if I take this as 0 and this is infinity and this side if it is minus infinity? Means somewhere if we get the value like it may be 1, 2, 3, whatever it is, then we can say it is a L. But when it moves away from this, it may go up to infinity or minus infinity, which is not definite. We don't know what exactly it is. Because of that, it is called as divergent. If it comes within a range, if it is known, then it is called as convergent. Okay, so this is all about the convergence and divergence of the series, which is nothing but a positive series. Then we need to move to next part to understand this Fourier series. That next part is a periodic function. Periodic functions. What is meant by periodic functions? We all know periodic means what? Repetitive. If you start from the same point, if it rotates and if it completes one rotation, then we call it as one period. So if it continues again and again, then we can call it as the number of periods are covered, means it is one period, or we can call it as a time interval, the fixed time interval. Okay, so what is the definition for this periodic function? A real valued function f of x is said to be periodic of a period t, because this t is a fixed period now. A real valued function f of x is said to be a periodic of a period t if f of x plus t is equal to f of x. What it means? Here t is a fixed period, x is a variable. If the function of a variable plus some period which is added, then also it remains as a original function f of x, which is nothing but a real valued function. Okay, where t is greater than 0, means t, whatever the period we are taking, that should be positive. For example, if you say first class and second class, third class, fourth class, like we can say first period, second period, third period, fourth period. What it means? How do you decide? This is the first period, second period means what? Initially, for example, 9 o'clock if your class starts, so 9 is initial value, initial number here, 9 o'clock. Then when you go to 10 o'clock, means 60 minutes. So one class is over, one period is over. Then after that second period starts, that will be for 60 minutes. Third starts, that is for 60 minutes. Then means what? That 60 minute is t here. Means if you add that 60 minute to one interval, then automatically we can say that becomes a function. Again, it is a fresh class. So this is f of x. Then here what happens? A constant, let us take it as k, sin x, cos x are periodic functions. These are called a periodic functions. But periodic of what value? Because okay, they are periodic, understood. Constant is a periodic function, sine is a periodic function, cosine is a periodic function, cos is also a periodic function, but it is a periodic function of a period. What is the fixed period for this? This for the period 2 pi. 2 pi means 360 degree. Okay, let us prove this by using some trigonometric concepts, whether really they are periodic or not. Let us take f of x is equal to sine x. Okay, then what we do? We add some period. This is a period 2 pi to this. Then what happens? It becomes sine of, now you can see x being replaced by x plus 2 pi because this is additional period added to a basic interval. Then it becomes sine x plus 2 pi or sine 2 pi plus x. Therefore, this becomes f of x plus 2 pi is equal to sine of 2 pi plus x. All of us we know ASTC rule. ASTC rule which we have studied in trigonometry. As per ASTC rule, we can see even number of 90 degrees means 2 pi means 4 times 90 degree. 4 times pi by 2. So even number of 90 degrees means the trigonometric function remains as a trigonometric only. So sine will remain as a sine only. So sine x only. Now it is a question whether positive or negative. See, 4 times pi by 2 or 2 times pi means what? From here it starts 90, 180, 270, 360 means 2 pi. Plus means it enters into fifth quadrant. And we all know in fifth quadrant all trigonometric ratios are positive. Therefore, is it not again sine x is nothing but f of x? So this is equal to f of x. Means we have proved that f of x plus 2 pi becomes f of x again. So which is the basic condition of periodic function. As per the definition of periodic function, our sine term cleared a test. It becomes a periodic. Means sine is a periodic function. Similarly, if you take f of x is equal to cos x with the period 2 pi, if you consider, then what happens? It becomes f of x plus 2 pi is equal to cos of x becomes x plus 2 pi. Again we know 2 pi means 4 times 90 degree. Again as per ASTC rule, from 0 to 360 means 2 pi 1 complete round, then it enters into second quadrant. As per that it becomes cos x only, and that is again positive. Therefore again it is equal to f of x. Therefore f of x plus 2 pi is equal to f of x. Means cos is also cleared a test. Therefore cos is also periodic. If you take constant k, for example, if you take constant k, then if you take this k is equal to f of x, it doesn't make any difference. If you take f of x plus 2 pi also, if it is been added, there is no x in it, so it becomes k only. Then automatically k is equal to this. Therefore there are three terms. One, sin x. Second, cos x. Third is constant. So these three factors are very important factors in Fourier series, and these are a periodic. Let us discuss trigonometric series and Euler formula. Already we discussed few concepts like convergence and divergence of an infinite series of positive terms, periodic functions and all. So now we'll go through the trigonometric series and how it will be converted into Fourier series. If we take f of x is equal to a0 by 2 plus summation of an cos nx from n equal to 1 to infinity plus summation from n equal to 1 to infinity bn sin nx. Okay, where a naught is equal to 1 divided by pi integration from c to c plus 2 pi. What we do here, we choose a limit from c to c plus 2 pi because we know that the periodic function works for a period 2 pi. So if you take this concept c to c plus 2 pi, automatically it works, because we know that if we take c to c plus 2 pi, for example, if we take an interval c to c plus 2 pi, then we know that how to calculate the interval. Interval is final minus previous. So c plus 2 pi minus a previous one. Then what happens? C get cancelled. This is equal to 2 pi. 2 pi becomes a period here. Therefore, c to c plus 2 pi is chosen. This into f of x dx. Similarly, we take what is an. An is equal to 1 divided by pi integration from c to c plus 2 pi into f of x into cos n x dx. Okay. Then we take bn. What is bn? 1 divided by pi integration from c to c plus 2 pi into f of x sin nx dx. Therefore, I call it as equation number 1. This is a trigonometric series. Trigonometric series is f of x is equal to a naught by 2 plus summation of an into cos nx from n equal to 1 to infinity plus summation of bn into sin nx from n equal to 1 to infinity, where a naught, an, bn are called constants, constant coefficients here. So these can be obtained by using these relations a naught, an, bn. Okay, so here the in this expression, finding a naught, an, bn are called Euler's formula. Euler's formula. Finding a naught, an, bn by using these relations are called Euler's formula. This series, a trigonometric series, becomes a Fourier series. It becomes a Fourier series. When it becomes a Fourier series, let us see. We'll take a title for this as Fourier series of a period 2 pi. Fourier series of period 2 pi. Concentrate on one by one. Convergent, divergent, then we move to periodic function, then we move to trigonometric series and Euler formula, then we are moving to Fourier series of the periodic function. As per the model title, it is Fourier series. So now we are coming to Fourier series concept. To say this equation number 1, which is a trigonometric function, to say it is a Fourier series, then it should satisfy few conditions. It should satisfy few conditions. Then we can say this is the Fourier series. What happens here? There are few conditions. There are few conditions which are known as Dirichlet conditions. Dirichlet's conditions. If these Dirichlet conditions are satisfied by a function, then we can say this function f of x is convergent. Okay, then it can be told, it can be identified as a Fourier series. Let us see let us discuss which are those Dirichlet conditions are. First, the function f of x is a single valued function, single valued and finite in the interval c to c plus 2 pi. which is already proved. What is the meaning of this? F of x is a single valued function. It is given in the definition itself. Finite in the interval c to c plus 2 pi. As I told you in the previous one, means the meaning is same. That is a period 2 pi. If you take final point minus previous point, we will be getting 2 pi. So it is periodic with a period 2 pi, no doubt at all. Second one, f of x is periodic with period 2 pi. Again it is connected with the previous one. So it is 2 pi only. Third one, f of x is continuous function. Continuous function. So it should be continuous. So it is convergent. Then fourth, f of x has only a finite number of discontinuities. Quite interesting. Discontinuities in c plus 2 pi. What he said? F of x must be continuous. Now we said f of x has only finite number of discontinuities in c plus 2 pi. Means what? Okay, it should be continuous, no doubt at all. If it is continuous, then no problem. If it is not continuous but it has only finite, means fixed number of discontinuities, only limited number of fixed discontinuities between c to c plus 2 pi, that is also accepted. Then comes fifth one. Fifth one says f of x has at the most a finite number of maximum and minimum in c plus 2 pi. Means it should start from c to c plus 2 pi. Means when we take this integration from c to c plus 5, means from here to here, maximum and minimum values to be considered. If these conditions are satisfied by the function, then this function f of x will be known as Fourier series, and these coefficients a0, an, bn are known as Fourier coefficients. Okay, they are known as Fourier coefficients. So this is all about the theory of Fourier transformation. Let us make a note. This entire concept is working for a continuous function. Assume if f of x is discontinuous. Okay, we are expecting it should be continuous, but if it comes as a discontinuous at a point x, at any value of point x, then what happens? Then the series, that is nothing but Fourier series. Fourier series means this one. F of x is equal to a0 by 2 plus summation of an cos nx plus summation of bn sin nx. The Fourier series, we'll take it once again if you want. F of x is equal to a0 by 2 plus summation of an into cos nx from n equal to 1 to infinity plus summation of bn into sin nx where n is from 1 to infinity. It converges to f of x is equal to 1 divided by 2 into f of c plus f of c plus 2 pi. So this we need to keep it in mind. Then what happens? If it is continuous, f of x at any value of x can be calculated. If it is a discontinuous, then it is very difficult to calculate f of x at a particular value of x where it becomes discontinuous. With that point, we can calculate f of x by using this relation, that is 1 by 2 f of c plus f of c plus 2 pi means lower end to upper end functional values to be added and it should be divided by 2. So this is the way to calculate the things. Before moving to an example, we should remember a few basic concepts. Basic concepts which are very important to understand how to solve the examples. Basic concepts. What are those basic concepts here? First, we should know the generalized Bernoulli rule. Bernoulli's generalized rule, which is nothing but integration by parts method. That is what we know, that integration by parts method is integration of uv with respect to x is what? First function, integration of second function minus double integration of second function, then differentiation of first function. So I'll take it as u dash. But it is not sufficient. We need its a generalization. Integration by parts method is not just sufficient to calculate Fourier series. We need its continuation. That is nothing but Bernoulli's generalized rule. Means what? First function, integration of second function minus differentiation of first function in double integration of second function plus once again differentiation of first function into triple integration of second function, and it continues. Okay, very easy. You can see here, first function, integration of second function minus differentiation of first function, integration of that second integrated function once, plus again once again differentiation of first function, once again integration of second function. Means differentiation of first function, integration of second function will be continued. So this is the thing. And a few results already we discussed and we know. So let us take those results once again. We know that integration of e raised to ax cos bx dx. We need not go for generalization once again because it is the standard result which can be used directly. What it says? Integration of e raised to ax, a square plus b square of a into cos bx plus b into sin bx. Okay, third one, integration of e raised to ax into sin bx dx, which is equal to e raised to ax divided by a square plus b square into a into sin bx minus b into cos bx. Means if anywhere if we get a product of exponential along with sine or cos, that time we need not go for generalized Bernoulli rule calculation once again. Straight away we can utilize these results. Apart from this, we have few more results. So let us discuss. All the time we know that sin n pi is equal to 0. Sin 0 is 0, sin 180 is 0. Means whenever we take sine on x-axis, it becomes 0. All the time sine is very poor on this x-axis, it becomes 0. Okay. Cos n pi will be equal to, then what about cos? If you take cos 0, it is 1. Okay, no doubt. Cos 90 degree becomes 0. Again, if it is minus 1, 0. So cos vertically, cos is not strong, it becomes a 0. But cos n pi, n may be anything, n may be, for example, you may take 0 or you may take 1, 2, 3, whatever it is, then it becomes minus plus minus 1. So it is minus 1 raised to n. Okay, if n is odd, it is plus 1. If n is even, then it is minus 1. Fine. Similarly, cos 2n times pi. Cos 2n pi is minus 1 raised to it. Okay. So cos 2n, 2n means what? It is even number. If it is even, so it is plus 1. Okay. Cos 2n plus 1. Sorry. Cos 2n plus 1. If n is odd, 2 times means it becomes even. Even plus 1 will be odd only. If it is odd, then it is -1. Okay, so these are the few results which are going to use to solve the examples. Okay, next class we'll discuss one example how to find a Fourier series. Thank you.